So should you be working out when you are sick? Now, there's quite a variety of ways that we can go about this. In fact, comment down below right now, what do you normally do when you're sick? Do you usually go to the gym and try to push through it? Or do you kind of just stay home, relax, and recover? Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I get sick, I could usually feel it coming on within 1 to 2 days beforehand. Personally, this might vary for you or for people you know. I don't get sick often, but when I do, it's usually pretty bad. I try to keep this in mind when I am thinking I'm ready to go to the gym, all energized, and I can feel myself getting sick. At first, I kind of push the boundaries. I'm like, I don't know if I'm actually getting sick, or maybe I just slept with my mouth open and my throat's all dry or what. But one thing to keep in mind is that sometimes when you work out, you actually push that sickness to the surface, whether you are going to get sick or not. If you're going to get sick, you're going to get sick regardless. It's just a matter of how fast it is coming onto your body.
What do you mean by that?
Now, this is your choice on whether you want to push it and let the sickness come to the surface, or stay home and recover from it. But keep in mind, when you are going to the gym, when you know you are getting sick or at least already sick, maybe wear some long sleeves if you can, especially if it's winter time. Try to wipe down any machines you use. I know some people still wear masks to the gym if that's your thing. Anything that you can do to prevent getting everyone else there sick. I mean, the gym is normally a healthy person's place, but that doesn't mean you aren't going to spread a bunch of germs or pick up a bunch of germs from sweaty people touching a bunch of different machines and barbells and dumbbells. But if you do have a home gym or a private gym, you still have the choice on whether or not you want to push your body and maybe just get it over with, or just let it play its course. Maybe you won't get sick, because either option is possible. Smash like if you feel like you're learning something new, or if you just find this video interesting or helpful. Now, I don't know how accurate this is, but I know there was some sort of military training somewhere in the world, some country that really specialized in when you are sick, you push through it, and sometimes that expels the sickness from your body. So earlier I was talking about how it brings it to the surface. When you work out through that sickness, it kind of leaves your body. I'm using this example because there have been times where I was sick in high school, and I wrestled in high school, and I ended up going to some wrestling practices that were really intense, super hardcore, but I was sick. I felt like crap. I felt terrible, lacking energy, lacking strength, and I ended up pushing really hard through those workouts. And don't get me wrong, they really, really did suck, but the next day, I felt really good. Like, I felt much better, and towards almost the end of whatever I was fighting off. I guess that again plays into the fact that when you do exercise and work out, get your blood pumping and going, I guess the sickness can not only bring on faster to your body, but I guess it also could run its course a little bit faster as well through working out. That being said, I know not everyone has the ability to just push through and feel like you could just get better right off the bat. Working out might even make those symptoms worse, and then you do need to just start recovering. So let's say whichever way you went, whether you chose to recover right off the bat because you could feel it coming, you're like, nope, don't want to deal with it, not gonna push it, just relax, or you did try to work out and it made things a little bit worse for you. Keep in mind that if you have something like a common cold where maybe you just have a sore throat or stuffy nose or anything like that, I do think it's completely fine to work out. Once again, it could get better or worse the next day. It's just something to keep in mind, and for you to make that decision for yourself, what would best work for you. But I don't see anything wrong with hitting a few workouts if you have something very minor. That being said, if you have something like the Rona or the hardcore flu, then maybe just stay home to begin with, because then you have a greater chance of spreading that around, or even just making it much worse for yourself when you really didn't need to in the first place. So now you're at the point of just letting yourself rest. But let's say you're at home, you're recovering. A lot of people kind of get it in their head, especially when they're sick. They might be losing a lot of water weight or look a lot skinnier. I know I'm definitely much skinnier when I get sick, because not only do I lose appetite, I'm also not working out as much, so the blood isn't in my muscles after the workout, so I don't look as pumped like when I'm going to bed, or even when I wake up in the morning. I might look a little bit shredded, but still not have as much fullness in the muscles as I normally would. Once again, probably due to the lack of food and the water weight just kind of dropping. It's important to keep in mind too that you actually will get your muscle back when you start working out again, as long as you have some sort of foundation built with your physique. Just because you don't feel good, you don't look as good as you used to, doesn't mean that you're stuck like that for a while and you have to rebuild from scratch. You have this thing where it's kind of like this muscle memory. So essentially you will get your muscle back, and you might even come back stronger. A lot of the times, I know personally, when I'm dealing with a lot of stresses in life, or when I am pushing to the point where I'm at the end of a strength training phase, or a point where I am almost at the point of overtraining, my body does tend to break down, as I am sure a lot of you more hardcore people tend to experience as well. You push your body to its limits and it can't go forever, and you obviously need to start recovering, and this sickness might just be some way of letting your body know, like, hey dude, you need to chill out, take a break. So I know sickness comes and goes. Think about why you might have gotten sick in the first place. It could be from, like I said, overtraining, or maybe a bad diet while you were bulking. I know I was in a bulk and I did, the holiday season, kind of eating like crap, and you pay for it. You really do pay for it. And now I've been out of the gym for 2 weeks. I'm much skinnier. I'm probably much weaker than what I was in this strength phase too. I was really trying to go for pushing some heavy weights, especially on squat, because I didn't recover enough. I had a bad diet, multiple other stresses on top of that. All these things kind of accumulate, and it ends up setting you back a little bit. Sleep is also a huge factor in that, is that you want to be able to get anywhere between 7 to 9 hours a night. And if you are doing something strenuous, like let's say construction, or even just work 9-hour days every single day, you want to make sure you're getting enough sleep for that, especially if you're going to the gym after those long days. Of course, you can't always prevent getting sick. Someone could just sneeze or cough on you and you might be susceptible to whatever they had. But there's a lot of preventative measures you could take to it. You don't always have to be a complete germaphobe. I know sometimes I'm not necessarily a full-on germaphobe, but I am definitely a very clean person. I don't even like sitting on my bed when I sweat previously. I'm a very clean person. So when I do get sick, it does tend to be a little worse than it does, just because my body's not always used to it. So just keep in mind that one of the main reasons you might actually be getting sick is because your diet probably isn't on point, or at least isn't the healthiest at times. I know the holidays just passed, so hopefully we're all getting past that and we're into this new year, new year resolution. Eat healthier. Make sure you're recovering. You need more sleep. You need way more sleep than you were probably getting. Sleep and drinking water are probably the two simplest things you can do in your life to better results all around. Not only have more energy during the day, not pack on as much fat over time as well, and really just optimizing recovery. Because if we all take into consideration that we all want to get big and strong, and we all focus on pushing the heavy weights, maybe even the periodization of pushing those heavy weights, but you also have to remember that it goes both ways. If you were just constantly tearing the muscle down and breaking it down when you're working out, it's not going to repair and build back up to bigger than what it was before. Just remember that the longer that you are off, the more atrophy or muscle loss will occur. When you do go back to the gym, it's okay to hop right back on to the cycle that you were at. For example, if your next day was a pull day, then hit the pull day and continue the cycle. Don't automatically just restart because you had a longer break than normal. Try not to skip any days. So to sum it all up, should you be working out when you are sick? Well, I guess it's really up to you, isn't it? Once again, if you have a common cold, yeah, you're fine. You're probably good to go. Just take your precautions. Try your best not to get anybody else sick. If you have something like the flu or the Rona or something super contagious and even possibly deadly, maybe stay home, recover. You'll get your muscle back. Don't worry. It's just gonna suck for the time being. And if you want to make sure that you are not being that motherfudger in the gym, click on the video right here.